Big budgets, big studios, big screams, right? Or is the real fear lurking in the shadows, where tiny indie teams craft nightmares that stick with you long after the credits roll? AAA horror games might look like $1 million blockbusters, but do they actually scare us more than indie horror gems made by a handful of devs or even just one person? Today, I'm going to give you 5 indie horror games that scared the absolute hell out of me and that you need to play right now. Visage, made by Square Studio in 2020, is a psychological horror masterpiece that uses photorealistic graphics and an unsettling atmosphere to create a truly haunting experience. You play as Diane, who has moved into a cursed house and must unravel the mysteries of its dark past. Visage isn't going to be for every horror fan. It's got a slow pace, difficult puzzles, and lack of direction that are going to make many struggle. But it's kind of the point of the video game. For every moment where I didn't know what to do or I didn't know where to go and I was on a wild goose chase, there was another moment when I finally figured it out and it terrified me. Set in a sprawling, decaying house, the game invites players to explore its eerie rooms, each with a unique and unsettling atmosphere. You play as a woman trying to unravel the disturbing secrets of her own home, which seems haunted by tragic, twisted events from the past. The house is full of stories of lost despair and violence that slowly come to light the more you keep digging. I 100% recommend this game because it's a slow burn tension and has relentless unease. It's a game that's more about psychological terror than action or combat, making it a standout in the indie horror genre. It's often compared to games like Outlast and Amnesia, where you just have to outrun your problems. But Visage's unique approach to horror, blending not only narrative depth, but a haunting setting, makes it a memorable experience for players looking for that deeper fear of a video game. Next game I want to talk about is going to be Nine Child Street. This is a psychological indie horror game that was developed by Madkind Studios. The game is set in a creepy abandoned house that seems to be haunted by dark secrets from the past. It's a first-person exploration game with a strong focus on atmosphere and unsettling visuals, where you're tasked with uncovering the truth behind the disturbing events that occurred in this house. As you explore, you'll uncover notes, photographs, and other pieces of evidence that tell the story of a family's tragic past, particularly involving their children. The house itself seems to shift and change, playing tricks on the player's perception and adding to the psychological horror elements of the game. The theme of this game is centered around loss, grief, and childhood trauma, with a particular focus on the disturbing idea of children being taken or disappearing under mysterious circumstances. The eerie setting of the house serves as a metaphor for the past that refuses to stay buried, and it's up to you to uncover what truly happened. The overall feel from this game is that it's a slow-paced, atmospheric game that plays on the fear of the unknown and the unsettling feeling of being in a place where something is just off. It's an experience built to make you feel like something's terrible is always on the verge of happening, keeping you in a state of tension throughout the game. If you're into psychological horror, the strong narrative and a creepy, immersive atmosphere, then you're in luck, because Child 9 Street offers a dark journey that will leave you on the edge of your seat. The next game I want to talk about is going to be Suite 776, and this is another psychological horror game. You're starting to see a pattern here, because I am. It is developed by Blacklight Interactive, and it was released in 2022. This game is actually set inside not a creepy abandoned house or a creepy house at all. This is set inside a luxury hotel where the protagonist explores a single mysterious suite. Suite 776. Story revolves around the dark history of the suite and the sinister events that transpired here, leading to a terrifying and surreal experience. This suite, according to all the rumors, has been the site of multiple disappearances and inexplicable events. It's the most chilling legend surrounding it is that anyone who stays in the suite is destined to face a violent, inevitable fate. Despite the warnings, of course, because it's a horror game, right? Alyssa ventures into the suite to investigate its dark past and uncover the truth about the horrors that have occurred here. At its core, this game explores themes of death, haunting regrets, and the consequences of curiosity. Everyone always says curiosity kills the cat. We don't listen to that in horror games. So when your search for the truth pulls you in deeper into the web of mystery and terror, forcing you to confront both the supernatural forces in this hotel and the psychological torment of those who fell victim before you. Overall, this is a tense, narrative-driven psychological horror game that relies more on unsettling atmosphere and disturbing environmental storytelling than a traditional horror game. It's a slow burn experience that builds dread through exploration, puzzle solving, and uncovering the dark history of this suite. Next game I want to talk about is another psychological horror game developed by EMKA Games, released in 2021. Summer of 58 is a nostalgic horror game that transports players back to a simpler time. While the game's length may be shorter than some players prefer, it packs a punch with its well-crafted scares and atmospheric storytelling. This survival horror game is set in the 1950s, takes players through an unsettling narrative as they explore the mysteries of a small town in the wake of strange and terrifying events. The main character, at the request of followers, goes to Russia to explore the abandoned camp. Locals say that this place is inhabited by restless souls, and of course, you have to check it out. Summer 58 explores themes of grief, loss, guilt, and the afterfacts of tragedy. The idea of a cursed place and the lingering spirits of the past is central to this story. There's also a deep emotional layer involving the lost family and their untold suffering. Supernatural elements serve as metaphors for the unresolved trauma, and the game's atmosphere amplifies these psychological themes. Yet again, this is another slow burn psychological horror experience that focuses on building tension rather than relying on constant scares. But, there are so many jump scares in this game, like this one. The abandoned building is a character in itself, with each room filled with secrets and the echoes of past tragedy. If you're a fan of atmospheric horror games that delve into supernatural, psychological aspects of fear, get ready, strap in, and enjoy the summer of 58. All right, I know that we've talked about a lot of different games, but the list is getting longer. I want to talk about Fears to Fathom. Now, I'm going to talk about all of the episodes as a whole, not just each single one. Just know that this is a collection of horror games that are just amazing in itself, but when you put it all together into chapter 1, it gets even better. The games are designed to be short, unsettling experiences that are heavily inspired by real-life horror stories and urban legends. Each episode in the series is unique, with different protagonists and settings, but all share a common theme of personal fear and the feeling of being watched or haunted. The games are built around atmospheric horror, tension, and narrative-driven storytelling with elements of first-person exploration, decision-making, and psychological terror. Fears to Fathom series is a collection of bite-sized immersive horror experiences that focus on creating tension and fear through storytelling and the atmosphere, rather just relying on jump scares. The games tackle universal fears, being alone, being watched, being trapped, and elevate them with unsettling narratives and environments. They are perfect for players looking for a quick, intense dose of horror with strong narrative-driven elements. This is just a glimpse into the amazing world of indie horror and this genre that's forever evolving and pushing boundaries. Now, we just talked about 5 amazing indie games that you guys really do need to play. And there's a lot more great titles out there. I get a lot of games on Steam. I also go to itch.io. If you don't know what that is, search it. You can get some free indie games there. It's for developers to put their games out if they can't get it on Steam. Now, do you guys have a favorite indie horror game? Drop it down in the comments below. Let me know. Go check out the rest of my games that I've played on this channel. It ranges from AAA all the way down to indie single dev games. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.